All right, y'all. Happy Friday. Billy Woods, Hiding Places, Kenny Siegel. I'm in a weird mood today. I'm in a very weird mood. So I wanted to pick out something that was equally odd. I'm going to ramble a bit in the beginning here, but before I do, let's get into just some quick stats. 2019, 40 minutes, 12 tracks. I know people mention Ethiops a lot. I'm going to get to that one too. I might just sit down with that one tomorrow, depending on how I'm feeling. I kind of have the day to myself tomorrow. But where I'm at mentally right now, I feel like I have a lot of mental strain right now. Something I do for myself as a tool with certain, if I have to make a big decision or if there's things that are bothering me, one of the things I do is I call it put it in the pot, let it simmer, right? Just kind of let it sit in the back. For me and how I process stuff, usually I can handle things pretty well in real time, but when it really starts to press on me, what I need to do is just kind of move away from it a little bit. And so, one thing that came up this week is the consideration of a different job that came up this week and letting that simmer in the pot a bit. It's not something that I need to decide right now. It's not something that's available right now, but there were some conversations I had with some people and it's like, okay. I don't talk about my work too much because I can't, but if in theory, this other job, okay, well, does that mean I don't have Fridays off anymore? Not really ready for that. I am ready for a bit of a change, I think. It means more commute. It comes with a pay raise most likely, but the pay raise would not offset what I get from Patreon. It'd be a pay cut. And even if it were equal, do I really want to go to work on a Friday rather than sit in my pajamas and listen to music on Friday? No, I don't want to do that. So that's just out there, kind of lingering. Everything that's happening in the world, I feel like a sense of impending doom, essentially. Just the current government structure, the things that we're finding out about all these people who are in charge and just how awful they really are and how they're all just in a big group together, running the whole show, protecting each other, covering things up for each other. The Pentagon demanding AI be unchecked for the use of mass surveillance and my wife's trying to play video games and she had her music on. That's a 50 DKP minus.
That's to help you with the stress. It was soothing music.
Soothing music to calm me down. Yeah. I feel like the world structure, things that are happening right now, I feel like it just feels like the net is finally actually starting to close. Companies talking about or governments talking about, oh no, we need to implement age check verification on all computer systems. We need your identity on all computers. It's finally it's actually happening. I feel like it's actually happening. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that is what's happening, but that is what I'm feeling. It is what I'm feeling, and I have this sense of. There's a saying I really like. It goes, it's a lot like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Where it's like, that's nice. You made the deck chairs all nice and pretty. The whole thing's going down. And as a person who's just trying to take care of a family, get through it, survive type of a thing, there are elements in my mind where I feel like, I don't know how we make it out of this. Maybe you don't. That's the thing too, is it's pretty easy to look back at history and see all the times where hundreds of thousands, millions of people didn't make it out of it, right? They didn't survive. So there's no reason to think my life would be any different, And normally with a Friday, what I do in this situation is I take those things and I set them to the side because this is a great kind of mental peace space for me. But today I'm going the other way, kind of leaning into it. And the reason why is, with somebody like Billy Woods, I wanted to listen to something that would kind of match my mood. I'm assuming this will be kind of odd. It's Billy Woods. I don't know. Maybe it's not so odd, but sometimes, it's with the process of putting something in the pot to let it simmer with these decisions, these thoughts, these stresses, what have you. One thing that I like about it is I revisit, no answer to this, revisit, no answer. And then in that process of kind of looping back and forth to check in on this idea and how I'm feeling about it, other information comes in. And that's really the idea behind it too, is let's not feel a certain way, with certainty. Let's not make a decision right now if it doesn't have to be made right now. If you've got time, just let's see if more information comes around. And for me and music often is a thing where you hear someone say something in a certain way and it makes it click, These messy ideas, these uncertain feelings, it's like a lens coming into focus. And now it's like, I fucking get it now. So that's why we're here with Billy Woods. And I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just in an odd mood. I don't know not sure what to do with my hands right now. Just put them by your side. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. Let's dive in. With Billy Woods, Babylon by Bus, amazing song that's off of Maps. Waterproof Mascara is one of the most incredible songs I've ever heard in my life in terms of a piece of art. I've never heard something so unsettling in a song as that song. Black Christmas, Zombie, other great tracks off the album that I will not name because the name of the album is named after a doll that's very racist and how it's designed and stuff. And so won't say that word, but that's the album that came out last year. It got the doll on the cover in like a bunch of fall leaves or what have you. Let's dive in. Let's get some Mr. Billy Woods in my ear. Maybe he can say some words that'll sort out some feelings. Maybe not, but we're going to dive into lyrics. We're just going to really lean into the odd right now. Track 1 is called Spongebob, which is a great odd start. Kenny Siegel's producing, of course. First time listening to Hiding Places. Big fan of Billy Woods. From the stuff I've heard so far, dropping in track 1, Spongebob.
March through the orchestra pit, the rip CDR skip. You hope the CDS don't stick, bent over dope sick. Too scared to write the book, took it, put it in the hook of a song. No one listened to it, looks like I wasn't wrong. Hit it where they wouldn't look, looking like Saddam. Looking at Taiwan like, look, they shook, let's get it on. Shots whizzed, his depression was all gone. Emotional lifting, please use the proper form. Bended the knee, rolled up half a Guam. Lost no sleep over the fate of your white farm. What goes come back around. So when they came for me, I wasn't alarmed.
This is exactly what I want.
Like Saddam. Tough guys won't go alive, get found unarmed. Niggas put up a good front, but you can see the zipper.
Bad, dude. Bad.
The nigga shiver. That Bill Withers. Nigga had the nerve to say you can't take it with you. Fuck what I want with any of this shit. Dummy. SpongeBob, the whole operation underwater.
I like this production.
It's only one guard, what we said and tore aboard. The bombs was on us, Came back to God like, motherfucker, you promised. You promised.
I like all of this. With the lyrics, I want to go through, I'll go through a lot of the lyrics, but I'm not gonna, the stuff that I don't get, basically I'll try and touch on the stuff that really jumps out at me today, rather than trying to figure it all out necessarily. Just something anything that strikes an emotion. But I want to click on this annotation. It's only one God, what we said in Tora Bora. I don't know what Tora Bora is. So December 2000. So here, I'll just read the whole annotation here. It's a bit unclear whose perspective Billy Woods is speaking from here, but in early 2001, during the Battle of Tora Bora, the U.S. Air Force initiated an attack on an al-Qaeda-occupied cave complex in Afghanistan. The bombardment lasted 72 consecutive hours. While the mission was considered to be a crucial part of the war's commencement, their search for Osama bin Laden was ultimately unsuccessful. I was probably part of that. I was on an aircraft carrier, deployed. Well, were we deployed? 2001, December 2001? I don't remember if we were deployed that early. I was on the aircraft carrier during 9/11. We were out off the coast of San Diego, but we came back. Initially, they were telling us, can you go right now? They were asking if we were ready, and nobody was packed because we were only supposed to be gone for like 2 weeks for that little outing that we were on. I don't think I was out there then. We were the second carrier group to show up because we were the night ups carrier. So I think we came like spring of 2002. I think that's when I was deployed, was 2002. Anyway, so, okay, airstrike. The bombs was on us. It's only one God. The bombs was on us. Came back to God like, motherfucker, you promised. I feel like that's the idea of being the chosen people. God will protect you. You are the people. The others are the infidels type of idea, I just like this idea of coming back to God, yelling, you promised, right? Feeling lied to by God is an interesting thing to percolate in the mind. This production is fucking fantastic. I'm so glad. Earlier this morning, I was like, I don't know what to listen to. I'm in a weird fucking mood. I don't want to listen to just like normal hip hop. And there's nothing against hip hop, but I was like, if I have to listen to somebody talk about their fucking cash and their hoes, I'm gonna goddamn scream. I just don't want to hear that right now. Let's keep going. I'll pick through some lyrics at the end here. Let's finish this one up. Fucking cool song.
Your sister talked to the nurse, everybody at church. Everybody wants to know if you coming, but they won't say the words. Your days feel rehearsed, nights come back in short bursts. In the bodega, bass head lurks. Hopping foot to foot, young and slow with that work.
God, that
Got my
roar of the
every
guitar.
call, but Aki did lotto first. I don't want to see him put her in the dirt. I can't go there with nothing but my shirt. Explosions, outside bombs, bursting in the sky. Street sidewalks, it's the 3rd of July. Spongebob, the whole operation underwater. It's only one God, what we yelled in Tora Bora. The bombs was on us, the bombs was on us. Came back to God like, motherfucker, you promised.
Yeah, it's a fucking cool song, man.
22 cents remaining in your account.
Dumps into steak knives. I think that's the longest. Oh no, there's one song longer. It's 5 minutes. Oh no, there's a couple more songs that are almost 5 minutes. Oh, before I forget, I want to give a shout out to this guy on Twitter. He said he sent a picture of like, oh, I guess I'm gonna bust out the edibles. So, sir, I busted out the smoking jam for you. I can't participate with the edibles and stuff, but I was like, you're gonna do edibles? Well, shit, I'll throw on smoking jam while we listen to Hiding Places together. This entrance to verse 2 is pretty interesting. I get a $5 phone cards from the corner store. It's hot, gang, crowded on the door. Slid past. Don't you bump nobody. The body control was godly. It's just a hobby picked up in the lobby. It's that person karate. So this idea of I gotta like, because I imagine if you bump into him, you get all pissed off, right? Maybe start a fight and all this other shit. Maybe. But I could see that, the way he wrote that, the way he presented that. Just like trying to like slide through. Let me just kind of get through here. Summer, dirt bikes, and Kawasaki's numbers, Fibonacci. The Fibonacci sequence, it's like that spiraling out thing. Every single fucking Tool fan on the planet can tell you about it. I'm not jaded about it at all. Fucking Tool fans. This part was interesting to me. Your sister talked to the nurse, everybody at church. Everyone wants to know if you're coming, but they won't say the words. Your days feel rehearsed. Nights come back in short bursts. In the bodega, bass head lyrics. Your days feel rehearsed. And this whole idea of everybody wants to know if you're coming, but they won't say the words. And just that kind of social interaction of the elephant in the room, essentially, right? Everybody knows the thing. Nobody's talking directly about the thing. No one will ask you. You're putting on the show to act like it's fine. And Let's go back up to verse 1. Mosh through the orchestra pit. Mosh through the orchestra pit. The rip CDR skip. That's a funny mention right there. When you used to burn CDs, you had to do it on a well, was it a CDR or a CD? I thought it had to be like RW, read and write. Anyway, you hope the CDS don't stick. What's CDS? First, you're either a CD, single music disc, yeah, or controlled dangerous substance. Yeah, I don't, as somebody who grew up with CDs, I don't remember the term CDS ever for music. CDR, CDS, okay. This part was really fascinating. Too scared to write the book. Took it, put it in the hook of a song no one listened to. Looks like I wasn't wrong. So that's got to be some lyrics from something else, I wonder. Shots whizzed, expression all gone, emotional lift. Please use the proper form. Bend at the knee, rolled up half of Guam. Lost no sleep over the fate of your white farm. What's this about? Here's a long annotation. Let's check this one out. This is likely a reference to the land reforms carried out in Zimbabwe during the reign of Mugabe, who graces the cover of Wood's History Will Absolve Me, and whose government Wood's father was a member of. Okay. Which evicted white farmers from their land holdings, either by compulsory acquisition or in some cases by violent means. Woods expresses his nuanced thoughts about white farms in Zimbabwe in an interview, saying it was obvious to me, even as a child, that the status quo was completely untenable. He acknowledges that political violence comes in cycles. With what goes around, what goes comes back around. Yeah, so when they came for me, I wasn't alarmed. You a slave to the hammer. You do what it wants. Take the good with the bad, fly trees, and a cheap blunt. People put up a good front, but you can see the zipper. I like that phrase a lot. Put up a good front, but you can see the zipper. So like I think of a hoodie. I'm not gonna read the annotation, but I think of a hoodie. Oh, that's a nice hoodie, but you can tell like, oh no, it's just something that's covering over something else. People had the nerve to say, you can't take it with you. Fuck what I want with any of this shit. I feel that right there. The fuck what I want with any of this shit. That's another thing that's so frustrating, though. These feelings I've been having, this impending doom, and this just want to just not participate in society at large, essentially. But at the same time, there's so many wonderful things about life. And so I don't have like this desire, like I don't feel like everything's terrible, but instead it's just like I feel like all of these wonderful things are now at severe risk of what is probably coming. Probably, I don't know. That helped. Listening to that first song already has helped. So let's keep going. Let's go to track 2. Steak Knives, produced by Kenny Siegel. Minute and a half, pretty quick. Let's jump into 2.
You don't want to be in 4th place, man. Yeah. Roaring fire with the basket rug. She said, don't pretend we back in love. I'm just trying to get dug. Your job trying not to look smug. 4 names, 2 aliases, and all of them is mud. Album dropped with the thud. Awkward silence, like when the grenade a dud. A bum, what you call an old thug. Kept asking me how you got away with all them dealings. I replied, I've been going through the same things that he had. But that was a lie, I could see you doing bad. 2nd place is Steak Knives. He said, what you sir? What? I said, nah, it's just a line. It's just a line. Anyway, man, turn off over here, man. Yeah.
Trippy shit. I like that one a lot. The fucking production, man. You know, I didn't say at the beginning, but some of the things I love about Billy Woods, Babylon by Bus. I had to restart my recording because on the first attempt, I got about 50 seconds in and I had to sneeze real bad. So I was like, oh, let's just start over. But Babylon by Bus, some of the lyrics on that one, people don't want the truth. They want me to tell them grandma went to heaven. The whole world's a stage and she came to me in full makeup. Oh, God, that's a good one. That's a good one. Zombie, Black Christmas, Waterproof Mascara, of course I talked about. Just, God, the lyric, I love what this guy says. I really like his voice too. There's just, I like his voice a lot. But there's just this style to what he does. And then Kenny Siegel with his production, man. Like, these two are such a great pair. Let's go through some of this shit. Second place is steak knives. Second place is steak knives. This is a line in reference to a famous line from the play Glengarry Glen Ross by David Mamet. As you all know, first place is a Cadillac Eldorado. Anyone want to see second place? Second prize is a set of steak knives. Third prize is you're fired. This is also a callback to the intro. You don't want to be in fourth place. Yeah, sure. The line emphasizes the steep drop-off between being first, second, or worse. Woods uses it here in application of stark social disparity between himself and the bum that he's talking to. I also kind of wonder, though, if he's talking about his own failure in the sense of album dropped with a thud. Awkward silence, like when the grenades are done. I would not be surprised at all, just because of how Billy Woods seems to like write and relate. He sees the disparity between himself and this bum, but then also he sees the disparity of his own musical success and someone like whoever, right? So we Playboy Cardi. I would argue Billy Woods makes much better music, but there are literally probably hundreds of millions of people that would tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. It's fine, right? We're all into our own thing. But this is another thing I really enjoy about Billy Woods is his just... I love how he views the world. I'm always fascinated by people who have just this knack for seeing things in a way that I don't see them. I remember being a kid and reading the Far Side comics and just being fascinated by them. Absolutely fascinated. Having full awareness that this person's mind works in a way that my mind does not. There are so many jokes even now. There's so many comics I go through and read. I don't get it. His brain, it was just different. Billy Woods is kind of in the same space for me in terms of my fascination with another mind and how the other mind sees things. But then also he can fucking write and put it out there in a way that now I can digest it. Awkward silence, like when the grenade's a dud. Imagine that, throwing a grenade at somebody and it doesn't go off. And I picture that, of course, obviously that would be some type of war scenario, but I when I picture it being a dud, I just picture just the two people standing there. Pretty fucking awkward, right? Did you throw this at me? No. I saw you. I watched you throw it. Anyway. A bum, what you call an old thug, coming by my house asking me for what? For what? Sleeping dogs are either bury you or dig them up. This relates to the music video for this song, where Billy is burying someone that's in a bag, but the video is reversed, so technically he's digging them up. Oh, interesting. But there's the phrase, let sleeping dogs lie. And I think the whole basis of the phrase is because if you like startle them awake, they'll tend to accidentally bite you, type of a thing. So then I take that idea, this thing that will accidentally bite you, and you either bury it or you dig it up. Either way, and then right next after he says either way it's reckless. I don't know. It's fascinating, but I don't know. My record's clean, your past checkered. I shoot you in the street, be home for breakfast. Yes, it's sick, but banalities might as well be death threats. I don't get that one. If something is banal, it means it's cliche, not original. Someone saying that they will shoot you in the street and feel fine about it, and the next day might seem like sick, some sick tough guy act. Banalities might as well be death threats. It's let it sit. There's the threat of sepsis. So if sepsis is like, what is it again? Like when you're kind of like rotting on the inside, right? Like you're infected on the inside, type of a thing. Sepsis.
Yeah, if you go septic, then you're all infected on the inside.
Yeah.
It gets out from where it should be.
Yeah, right. That's it. It gets out where, yeah. Kept asking me, how you got away with all them dealings? I replied, I've been going through the same things he had, but that was a lie. I could see he's doing bad. Second place is steak knives. Let's keep going. Fucking cool. Cool. 2 for 2. Checkpoints is track 3. Kenny Siegel's producing. 3-minute track. Dropping into 3.
If I haven't heard a word in 10 years, assume you're dead.
Assume
Or
you're
guessed
dead.
to the fads. Or cultivated a better class of friends. Now I'm mad, tip the hat, fingers don't touch the brim. Quit my job to kick raps instead. So family meeting, everybody gotta start bringing in bread. Shot the movie, no script. Scoured the heights, no pimp. Came home like it's no recipes left. Kids like no shit. Came home like Ocampo at the end. At the end, nigga just quit. Whitey finally in that spaceship like so long it deck for all the fish. I calmly rolled another nigga stick. Woman stop me like it's still other shit to fix. True this sis. Go ahead, I'll be up in a bit. I'm chilling like Africans who never felt the whip.
There's something for me that's just very... This is going to sound so dumb, okay? So dumb. But just let it write it out. It's so odd, and that's what makes it so relatable. And the reason why it feels so relatable is I don't understand what's going on, and I kind of feel it. And that's how I feel right now. I don't understand what's going on up here right now. But I just have these feelings, this compression, this just strain. And this song has the same thing. And this last little bit here on the first, I think it was the first verse, right? Yeah. I feel like I can take that apart and kind of understand it a bit. And I'll do it here in a second. But that's why I wanted to listen to this. It's such an odd, like, it's very difficult to explain, but it's such an odd, fascinating thing when somebody can put together this weird music. Let's call it weird music. And it doesn't make any sense. Right? It's so random and bizarre and all over the place. But that's why it makes sense. That's why it clicks. And that's what makes me bum out a little bit when I encounter people who they don't want to like dive into something like this. Like, it just got to be fun and happy and it just makes me feel good type of thing. Not that there's anything wrong with that. The only problem for me is if you only listen to that, because I feel like you're just missing out on some stuff. And not like this is going to cure me of how I'm feeling, but when there's just this layer of relatability, connectivity, especially when it's somebody else so far away, living a different life from 7 years ago, it just kind of helps my brain relax. Like, oh, I'm not the only one. I'm not going crazy. I am going crazy, but like, I'm not crazy for going crazy. Like, we're all going crazy. It's normal to go crazy. If that makes any sense. So this bit here at the end, quit my job to kick raps instead. So family meeting, everybody got to start bringing in bread, right? Like, hey, everyone's got to work. I don't have a fucking job anymore. Everyone's got to start bringing in. Shot the movie, no script. I feel like what he's saying there is, just kind of made this decision, didn't plan it out ahead of time, right? He didn't put it in the pot to simmer in the back like I was talking about. Scoured the heights, no piff. Come home like it's no recipes left. Kids like, no shit. Came home like, I don't know who this is. Main character of Things Fall Apart. Through his eyes, Nigerian author tells the story of the so-and-so people during the late 1800s when European colonists arrived in Nigeria to spread the word of Christianity. That must have gone over well. Over the course of the book, the Europeans gained a foothold in the region and established an oppressive white government. Shocking. Eventually causing infighting between the converts, and the traditionalists, imprisoning and abusing some of the natives, and inciting a rebellion. Akano, a wrestling champion and warrior, leads the uprising, but his violent retribution isn't met with support, and he comes to the disheartening realization that his people won't fight for their freedom. In the end, he commits suicide instead of submitting to the judgment of colonial court. Come home like Akano at the end. Just quit. Why did he finally in that spaceship like so long and thanks for all the fish? That's Hitchhiker's Guide, right? Yeah. I calmly rolled another.
That's what
the dolphins say, right?
before they leave.
Yeah. I calmly rolled another stick. That's got to be a blunt, right? I'm assuming. I don't know. Woman stopped me like, it's still other shit to fix. True this, sis. Go ahead. I'll be up in a bit. That whole part is really kind of fascinating. I'm chilling like Africans who never felt the whip. So like you take this whole little section and I just quit my job. Ain't got no money coming in. We got to figure it out. Didn't plan this ahead. It ain't working. I'm gonna sit down and roll a joint. And the woman's like, we need to get busy. Oh yeah, no, I'll be right there. Don't worry. I'm just gonna smoke. Like a lack of urgency. Clearly, a lack of urgency. Let's keep going. I paused in the middle, right? Yeah, I did. I forgot. I'm all over the place. Let's keep going.
My goals was limited, just wanna be the best. Just something to get from one day to the next. Best tour advice I ever got, you better off beating your dick. Reading your Bible, sweat beating on your lip. FBI agents listening, Dr. King, motel bed spring, this some freaky shit. Watch plain clothes search for that elusive marijuana, cigarette, roulette, wheel spin. No more bets, no surprise, the rich suggest you do more with less. Your revolution left the niggerati unimpressed. Don't wait, dig the pits. Purge the leadership, don't hesitate. Ain't no half stepping, step to them like you know what it is.
Oh shit, man. Good shit. And it's funny because I love listening to this, but as a reaction, like commentary situation, it's tough. It's very difficult to like go through some of these lyrics and make sense of it. And and so I go, well, I'm failing at my job, but today I kind of don't care. This is for me, or I mean, honestly, my reactions, they are reactions, obviously, but it's that first listen experience. You know, we never get that back. And really today I'm just leaning into the first listen experience. I don't really give a fuck if I make a good reaction or not. Oh my God, dude. I'm just going to read all of verse 2. My goals was limited. Just wanted to be the best. It's such a simple goal. Easy, clearly defined, obtainable, one thing. I just want to be the best.
What's on your checklist? One thing.
One thing. I only got to do one thing. Be the best.
Yeah.
Easy. Keep it simple. Just something to get from one day to the next. Best tour advice I ever got. You're better off beating your dick. Reading your Bible, sweat beating on your lip. FBI agents listening, Dr. King. Motel bed spring. This is some freaky shit. Who is Andrea Dworkin? Back of my mind. Can't get it in without internet. Billy appears to be making a comment on the freely available and increasingly niche nature of internet porn. Okay. Particularly appears to be invoking the often cited notion that many of the unrealistic scenarios portrayed in porn skew people's real life perceptions. Okay. However, and typically I'm kind of skipping over some shit here. He addresses his own conflicting feelings on viewing this kind of material, stating that the work and message of writer and noted feminist Andrea Dworkin weighs on his mind as he does so. Okay. She passed away in 2005, perhaps known for her spearheading of the movement against pornography, which she saw as having links to rape and other forms of violence against women. Okay. Next line is connecting against God. We formed weapons. 79, they stormed Mecca, the devil ambidextrous. A reference to the 1979 Grand Mosque seizure in Saudi Arabia. Okay. The devil ambidextrous. Pony had one trick, no sweat. Watch plain clothes search for that elusive marijuana cigarette. Roulette wheel spin. No more bets. That is a great line. Because no more bets. So for those of you who aren't familiar with like actually playing roulette, I'm sure you guys know, this is the wheel and the ball and it lands on the number, right? But when you spin the wheel, you can actually still place bets when the wheel is spinning. And then, they throw, but then the dealer or whoever, the person around the table will say, okay, no more bets. You just have to wait. And the reason why I like that line so much, roulette wheel spin, like everything's in motion, no more bets. Now you can't change your mind. You just have to wait to see what your fate becomes. There's nothing you can do. It's literally just up to chance at that point. I like that line. Roulette wheel spin, no more bet. And I know it's just so simple and so plain and there's nothing fancy about it, but what I'm thinking about is just that moment of, here we go. Here we go. Now we get to find out what actually happens. And I've been feeling a lot of that lately. Here we go. No surprise, the rich suggests you do more with less. Your revolution left the people unimpressed. Don't wait, dig the pits, purge the leadership. Don't hesitate, ain't no half step, and step to them like you know what it is. I'm so glad I sat down with this today. I know I said at the beginning of the year, for the underground stuff, I wasn't going to do them on Fridays, and that's still the plan, but I broke that rule today. Maybe tomorrow I'll do something popular. Probably not, though. Probably not. If I haven't, this is a great opener too to the song. If I haven't heard a word in 10 years, assume you're dead. Or guest of the feds, so you've been arrested. Or cultivated a better class of friends. Not mad, tip the hat. Fingers don't touch the brim. All right, let's go to 4. Spider Hole. Kenny Seagull. I do this every time. I don't know if to call him Seagull or Seagull, and it doesn't fucking matter. But anyway, here we go. Here's track 4, Spider Hole. Love the production, man. So odd.
Holding my breath in the crawl space, weight taped to my body. Barbarians at the gate, Benghazi. Wait, tape ain't even out yet. How the hell they get a copy? Survived by the grace Mugabe. Averted eyes advised, passing through the building lobby. You don't want smoke? National Geographic, Negroes cooking coke. Anthropologists watch the Negroes sell dope. On huddle corners, corner stores, jotting notes. Hand in hand, much as their forefathers before. It's a good trope. Fascinating stuff. Thumb and forefinger where the cobra clutch. 4 million USD hovering over some mud huts. It's nuts. It's not the heat, it's the dust. Sour when the wind gusts crush.
It's not the heat, it's the dust. I'm gonna have to read some annotations on this one, for sure.
No man of the people, I wouldn't be caught dead with none of y'all. Don't call me again. What I'll say when you call.
I'm just gonna ride it out to the end.
That's the best part.
Nice hit.
From here, the war seemed really far. The mirror was a shark. No beef. I cooked the chicken in lard. Crept in your house like a thief. Trapped the window ajar. First time I saw them put a trap in the car. Eyes wide. Felt like the internet.
God, the production is badass.
Little tiny spoon for the mignonette. The job was to sit there all day and press refresh. And if so, what? You get what you pay for in the end.
I like Spider Hole a lot. I love these roaring guitars he's been bringing in every now and then.
What's your game? Everybody's got a game.
I feel like I've heard that before. I don't know what movie that's from, though. TV drama, comedy series, Succession. It's about media magnet Magnet. I can never say that. I always want to say magnet, but that's not the word. Anyway. Logan Roy and his family's power struggle in the wake of problems with his own health. Huh. Okay. The chorus. Wry smile, copping legal weed from a fake hole in the wall. Copping legal weed from a fake hole in the wall. You gotta hide it. I don't want to go see Nas with an orchestra at Carnegie Hall. What's this about? Rapper Nas performed a concert at Manhattan's Carnegie Hall with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys alongside a live 40-person orchestra. No man of the people, I wouldn't be caught dead with none of you all. Don't call me again. What I'll say when you call. $4 million USD hovering over some mud huts. It's nuts. It's not the heat, it's the dust. I want to hit on this. It's not the heat, it's the dust was a common complaint for the U.S. soldiers deployed in Iraq, where temperatures frequently passed 113, but blowing sand, which got into everything, not in a seal. Okay, yeah. Actually, I work with the guy who's still in reserves. He still gets deployed. He's getting deployed next year, or later this year. But I kind of remember him saying the same thing, now that I think about it. Yeah, he said, it's just the fucking dust, man. The sand gets everywhere. So the $4 million USD hovering over some mud huts is nuts. Must be the same kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Holding my breath in the crawl space, weight taped to my body. Barbarians at the gate, Benghazi. Wait, the tape ain't even out yet. How the hell they get a copy? Survived by the grace of Grace Mugabe. Former First Lady of Zimbabwe, through this, Woods explores the goal of surviving while living under a corrupt government and the precarious daily life for lots of people. This contrast of being in a crawl space, hiding with drugs, and then the attack. What was it? That was the U.S. consulate or whatever it was, Benghazi, Libya. Yeah, it was Libya. I remember that. The diplomatic compound. Yeah, and that got attacked. So then, I guess, did he live in Zimbabwe for a while? Anyway, see, this is something I like about Billy Woods. Just these points of relation that he does. What was it on? I think it was the more recent one. The album that you're not supposed to say the name of. The one where he's talking about watch the man die by a drone from the comfort of my own home. So just being on the internet and watching a drone. It crept up real low, real slow, and dropped the grenade. And he squabbled in the dirt, like in this hole or whatever, like a baby in the womb or something. And it's so odd, these things that are happening. But yeah, the idea that you can just watch war footage from your home, from your cell phone in your car on your way to work or something, like it's just bizarre. And it's so bizarre. And I feel like with Billy Woods, I feel very strongly, I believe very strongly that there is no separation, where everything is one. All of it. Basically, my worldview is that existence itself is God. And so just like I've got blood vessels and cells and all these little things that just make up what I am, existence is the makeup of God, and therefore we are all part of God. And anyway, all that kind of stuff, right? But to really focus it on the idea of just there is no separation. Yesterday, when I was driving to work, this will kind of give an idea of where my brain has just been. There's some traffic. It wasn't like stop and go, but it was slow down. And I was following this diesel truck because they don't slam on the brakes like the other fuckheads do. So I follow the diesel trucks. And I was following them, and I was trying to I drive a stick shift. And so I try to pace them really well just for fun, just to give myself something to focus on. And it occurred to me that I'm taking in light that's reflecting off of a surface through optics that go to nerve endings, that then go to a brain, that then processes this, that then sends signals down to my feet that operate a clutch and a throttle that make an engine move, that make wheels turn, that maintain a relative speed to this other thing. And I was just like, our perception of reality is so, like, so minute compared to what is going. And then, of course, you start thinking about, oh, well, this is all particles and electrons and neutrons. And then you get to the quantum shit, and it's just like, I started laughing at myself a little bit yesterday in the morning driving in. I was like, I worry about all these things, and they're not even really real. It's just scattered particles, quadrillions and trillions and trillions of particles scattered in every which way, interacting with each other, and then out comes this.
I'm just worried about what I'm going to make for dinner.
Well, you worry about that. Just don't use the wrong particles. She said, if you didn't hear, she said, I'm just worried about what to make for dinner. Stick with that. We'll both have one goal.
Okay.
You figure out what's for dinner, and I'll be the best.
Okay.
Simple. Easy.
Yeah.
We could both have it done by this evening, and then have an enjoyable weekend.
You are the best.
Aw, I am the best, she said.
Your to-do list already done.
I'm already done. All right, well, then I could play video games the rest of the day.
Yeah, after you're done listening to
After
music?
I'm done doing my work of listening to music in my pajamas, then I can play video games. Okay. Okay. I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about, which is perfect.
Do you want me to tell you?
No, don't tell me.
Okay.
Don't tell me. This part was kind of neat too. This, talking about people selling drugs on huddled corners, corner stores, jot notes, hand to hand, much as their forefathers before. It's a good trope, fascinating stuff. Thumb and forefinger were the cobra clutch, and it made me think of somebody doing like that, but kind of like underneath, right? So you just got that kind of a thing going on. It's funny, like I'm just all over the place. I don't even know what lyrics I've covered. It's just me in the spider hole. That's the best part. From here, the war seemed really far. The mirror was a shard. I feel like this is going back to the beginning of verse 1. He's in this crawl space again. From here, the war seems really far. And then you kind of relate that to the second line of verse 1 of barbarians at the gate in Benghazi. And of course, how you can just watch it on TV. But it's really far away. No beef, I cooked the chicken in lard. Crept in your house like a thief, perhaps a window ajar. First time I saw them put a trap in the car, eyes wide, felt like the internet snipers in the Marionette. Minaret? No, it's not that. It's Minaret. Minaret. A tall tower that is part of a mosque. Okay. Due to their height, they are naturally great sniper positions. This part was fascinating. The job was to sit there all day and press refresh. What is this about? From this point until the end of the verse, Woods describes a hustle culture. People become disillusioned by the 9-to-5 lifestyle and seek making their fortunes themselves. Okay. Well, let's keep going. I'm so fucking scatterbrained. I don't know what's going on. This is track 5. It's called Houthi, which was one of the people's... Oh, in Yemen. Okay. Kenny Siegel is producing. Here's track 5, Houthis.
Stood pulled in porch light.
wow.
Cut my shadow
It's
off
almost
with
like
the
a normal
dull
song.
knife. Whispered in its ear, then sent it off into the night. Set the trap for the mice, the rats, whatever's in the pipes. Corner your eye, the edge of the white. That's where I live, I'm set for life. Braised the tripe, never stirred the rice twice. Belly roasted pancetta on a fine dice.
There's a ticking sound that sounds like trying to start a stove. I wonder if they sampled the sound of trying to start a stove. Because that's what it sounds like.
Wife said haram, but we already fell from quite a height. This what happened, left to his own device. You be embarrassed to know the price. Wasn't much. The bag was light, the rags were still tied tight. There was no particular gripe. I seen the dog crescendo, stepped over sun when it was my turn at the window. Backwards single, change on plexiglass, yeah, that's my jingle. Careful what you ask for, you just might get it. Mom showed us where she kept our passports.
Oh,
Hit
shit.
it. Careful what you ask
This-
for, you just might get it.
So this is what-
Yeah, he keep a couple passports with him.
That's what he was referencing on Waterproof Mascara. Wow. So there it is. There it is. Careful what you ask for, you just might get it. That's his fucking dad dying. So the annotations, just, things on ours with the scene, but when Waterproof Mascara, specifically, he says this again, careful what you ask for, you just might get it. And that's in reference to, sitting on the stairs, just hoping who would die, and then he did. Surprise. Mom showed us where she kept the passports hidden. How's it go? She told us kids, your father is dead and your uncles are not our friends. It's just us in this room. That's it. Like, fuck. That song is just nuts. The piano banging around the way they do. Oh my God, dude. Waterproof Mascara. Incredible. Incredible song. I don't know anything. I have no idea what the fuck the first verse is about. So we'll keep going and then we'll click on some annotations.
Told my ex-wife where I stashed it, just in case. She paused, then she said, okay. Couldn't think of much else to say. A labyrinth is not a maze. That's okay, but that's not the haze. JD Salinger, just stay away. Miss Havisham at the drapes, naked to the waist, aged like grapes. Every plan had a flaw, pried every board from the floor. Pried before a fall, but he felt sure. Both hands wrapped in gauze, stole fire from God, your Lord. And I'm just wondering what she was thinking when she paused. What she was thinking when she paused.
I have no idea what this song's about. No idea.
Careful what you ask for, you just might get it.
Is there a summary for this song? No. Wait, no. No summary. That's too bad. Well, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe it just shows that nobody knows what the fuck this song's about. So I shouldn't feel so stupid for not knowing what the song's about. Stood pooled in porch light. Cut my shadow off with a dull knife. Whispered in its ear, then sent it off into the night. Let's click on that. Here's the annotation. At first it starts with beautiful imagery. Let's break it down. The light of the porch is enveloping him, making him seem like he's swimming in it. So hence the pooled, right? Notice how in the second line he mentions that the knife is dull. If it were sharp, his shadow would be severed from his body easily, but because it's dull, it takes more effort, and the metaphor is probably more painful for both of them. Okay. Once him and his shadow are separate, he whispers some sort of command or request, and it does his bidding. This gives off an almost occult feeling to his shadow, like it's some sort of spirit or apparition. The shadow could also be Woods himself. The shadow could represent someone he had to part with, and his whisper could be a final goodbye, because who knows you more than your shadow? Sure, maybe. Fuck, I know. I mean, I don't disagree with that, but I don't feel like I understand it any better either. Set the trap for the mice, the rats, whatever's in the pipes. Corner of your eye, the edge of the white, that's where I live. I'm set for life. There's been some subtle little hints at, I feel like, at his being a smaller artist, of him not getting, not necessarily being the most successful, not having a lot of attention, what have you, I wonder if that's another reference to that. Braise the tripe, never stir the rice twice. Belly roasted, pancetta on a fine dice. Your wife said harem, but we already fell from quite a height. I don't know what the fuck that means. Harem is the opposite of halal in Arabic in that it is forbidden. Those terms being commonly used in relation to food products, okay? The previous two lines describe a dish being cooked with tripe and pancetta, which is a pork, apparently. The wife states that pork is haram, which would be forbidden. In which Woods replies, we already fell from quite a height. They have already sinned in life, so how is eating pork going to make it worse? Okay, good annotation. Well done. Well done. This what happened, left to his own device. You'd be embarrassed to know the price. It wasn't much. The bag was light and the rags was still tied tight. There was no particular gripe. I synced it all crescendo. Stepped over her son when it was my turn at the window. Yeah, I have no idea what this song's about. Verse 2 is really interesting, though. Told my ex-wife where I stashed it just in case. This is the passport. She paused and said, okay. Couldn't think of much else to say. A labyrinth is not a maze. That little interaction is really fascinating to me because it's his ex-wife. Let's just assume some things just for the sake of conceptual consideration. It's his ex-wife. He says that there, but it could have been he told her this before she was his ex-wife. Anyway, imagine telling your ex-wife, hey, this is where I keep my passport. And assume that this person also knows the story about your father dying and your mom having to scoop up you and your siblings with passports and get the fuck out of the country you live in because your uncles are not your friends, whatever that means. And then now you're this ex-wife being told by this person, hey, this is where I keep my passport. Okay. Like, yeah, what do you say to that? Okay. I don't know. It's just kind of fascinating to me. A labyrinth is not a maze. That's okay. But that's not the haze. J.D. Salinger, just stay away. Is J.D. Salinger the author of Catcher in the Rye? Yep. I was right. All right. Was an infamous recluse. He gradually withdrew from the public eye as his seminal works' popularity grew until 1965 when he stopped publishing entirely and retreated to a farmhouse in New Hampshire. Just 12 years after he started and only with a few books in his catalog. For the next 45 years, Salinger communicated with the public solely through secondhand messages delivered by his lawyers and filed heaps of lawsuits against unofficial publications of his work. He remained steadfast in his desire for privacy up until his death in 2010. Yet The Catcher in the Rye was still selling 200,000 copies a year. I wasn't terribly impressed with Catcher in the Rye. Everyone makes a big deal out of it. It's been a while since I've read it, so I don't remember it too much, but I just remember reading, so he's kind of bored. He takes his sister to the fair and it rains. I remember reading the book and trying to paying attention to it. I can read well and understand pretty well, despite what I do here that might lead you to believe otherwise. Right? Bob, you don't know shit. You can't read shit. You don't read the annotations. You don't pay attention. You don't understand. You don't listen. All right. But yeah, I mean, what was the thing with Catcher in the Rye? It was the book that inspired somebody to like kill somebody. I can't fucking remember now. Who even knows if that's true? But yeah, Catcher in the Rye was like, this is it? Oh, okay. Anyway, that's my story about Catcher in the Rye. Miss Havisham. Who's Miss Havisham? You know that person, don't you? Miss Havisham? No, don't look it up. I got the annotation. It's familiar. Take a guess. Don't look it up. Take a guess. Who's Miss Havisham? Miss Havisham. Great Expectations. Charles Dickens.
Oh.
But I didn't read that one. I remember trying. I remember trying to read it, and I was like, nah, it wasn't into it. Oh. Keep it down over there. Keep it down over there. My wife, who enjoys puns immensely, started getting some fun ideas about the word Dickens.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't read Great Expectations. I'm not a Charles Dickens fan.
I read it. I don't remember it.
Yeah. Miss Havisham at the drapes, naked to the waist, aged like grapes. So would that be like a fine wine? I don't know. Guttering candles.
No, like a raisin.
Oh, like a raisin. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Throw shade while we ate. All you heard was knife and fork on the plate. Grainy home movies of him home rolling doobies. Pagliacci, how they piled in the fucking hoopty. I don't know what the fuck that means. Pagliacci is the protagonist in an old tragic opera about a sad clown who kills his cheating wife. Oh, so they piled into the hoopty like a clown car. Okay. Listen, it's all news to me. I'm new in these parts. Pardon the God, I'm just visiting my niece. Somewhere in the building, someone somewhere making beats, muffled. Cover the mouths of children when you hear the beast shuffle to another door. Something scuttered along the floor. Belt buckle whip you raw. Stood up all night. What the fuck is that about? As a kid, beatings often happened with a belt. In the case with he was whipped with a belt buckle until his ass was raw. Oh, yeah. And it hurt to lie in bed. So he stood up all night. Yeah, sure. This line, every plan had a flaw. This one sticks me a bit because I've been around people who we've got a problem. We're trying to sort it out. We're trying to find a solution. It's more of like a troubleshooting. Oh, well, that won't work. That won't work. I cannot stand those kinds of people. I cannot stand people where here's a problem. Let's try and fix it. And then every potential solution you offer up is shot down because it won't work. Well, let's fucking try it first. Like, yeah, sure, maybe it won't work. We can try. No, it won't work. I can't stand that kind of shit. Pride before fall, but he felt sure. Love that one too. Let's keep going. I know I'm just kind of all over the place. I apologize. Hopefully this works for you. Hope you guys are just hanging out, having your fucking edibles. Sir, we're about an hour in. I hope your edibles are kicking in really well now. Let's go to 6. A Day in a Week in a Year. Featuring Mother Mary. Producers are Kenny Siegel and Mother Mary. Drop it into 6. Here we go.
A day in a week in a year where everything exactly as you feared. Lightning could strike me right here, holding the phone in my ear. The rest of my life I'ma be like, yo, I was standing right there. Boxes under the stairs, found some old Nike Airs, still tight. Dust them off like I remember working nights for this pair. Nightmares of what it'll be like, lights from your flights, landing gear, drawing near. If I knew you was coming, would've picked something more debonair. Best laid plans of mice and tin men. I was dead, didn't need to pretend when the bayonet went in. On the windshield, it's one particular raindrop, caught struggling in the incandescence. Took my hands off the wheel and cut the engine.
Took my hands off the wheel and cut the engine. Whoa. This is... I've not heard something like this before from Billy Woods. Whoa. Cool sound, but very different.
Paradise in the gold watch, I was right, the price was a lot. Mildly disappointed that all those guns was props. You tinker with the flow, but yo, the whole style rocks. Somebody gotta say it. Who knows though? Nowadays, maybe gotta shoot your shot. I dipped in the fog, rolling right off the lock. Put drums under Bach. It's a game of inches, like when police beat you to the fucking spot. Kept walking, head down, waiting to hear stop. Fucking with the joystick, pretending I was really playing. Pretending I was really playing. Pretending I was really playing.
Interesting song. I don't dislike this part, but I feel like it's just kind of out of place. As far as, I mean, I don't know how the rest of the album's gonna be, but this is such a shift in sound and style. I sound like a little kid that doesn't want his peas touching his mashed potatoes. Oh, it's a different sound. Do we like it? I don't know. How do we know? Grenades attached to rockets and eager to tell you the names of their prophets. Rappers running out of gas halfway through their second project. My building smells like burnt chocolate. What the fuck is that? People say if it smells like burnt chocolate in your house, you may have a mold problem. Okay. He could also be talking about the smell of old cigarettes. Okay. Knocking that new young little Willie Basket, Paradise in a Gold Watch. I don't know what the fuck that is too. The sardonic line refers to the common naming convention of SoundCloud rappers. Flip to invoke Willie Bosket, a 1960 criminal with a horrific life story. Woods previously invoked on Arm & Hammer track of the same name. Okay. Paradise and a gold watch. I was right. The price was a lot. And I love how you can hear him. That's just expensive, man. Mildly disappointed that all those guns was props. You tinkered with the flow, but yo, the whole style rocks. Somebody's got to say it. Who knows, though? Nowadays, maybe you got to shoot your shot. So is this Rock Marciano? Yeah, okay. Wood calls out a biter of Rock Marciano, but more or less isn't holding it against them. The sentiments are echoed on speak gently, but less forgiving. Okay. I dipped in the fog, rolling right off the lock, put drums under Bach. It's a game of inches like when the police beat you to the fucking spot. Kept walking head down, waiting to hear stop. What's this? Brooklyn, Brooklyn, Brooklyn under the 3 clocks. Is that like the train station or something? Willie Woods was born in Washington, D.C. He is well known to have been raised in Brooklyn. Okay. Or not Willie Woods. Weil Billy Woods. I took Weil and Billy and put them together and made Willie. The 3 clocks with Brooklyn can be interpreted as a city-famous clock tower turned penthouse that has 3 giant clocks as part of the architecture. That's kind of neat. Interesting. Unsurprised when the choppers chop. I read the play Hatchet Job, but you work with what you got. Life is just too... I like this part a bit. I like this... Life is just 2 quarters in the machine. You either got it or you don't. That's the thing. I was still hitting the buttons. Game over on the screen. Dollar movie theater, dingy foyer, little kid, not a penny to my fucking name. Oh, he doesn't say fucking. I added that in there. Fucking with the joystick, pretending I was really playing. The idea of, pretending I was really playing, but you know you're not. You know it's just game over. A lot of, with my own mental strain these days, before I get into that, but I love this too. If I lose, it was rigged. I'm the man if I win. I love that. That is just 100% acknowledgement of ego. I can't lose. Why would I ever lose? But then, of course, the idea of, haha, I'm so badass if I win, when you absolutely refuse to acknowledge a loss because that means it's impossible. It was rigged. How could you possibly lose because you're so good at everything? But then if you're so good at everything, why do you take such victory in winning? Wouldn't it be a foregone conclusion that you're going to win? But it's all just service of ego is what it is. I love that bit. Before settling on a narrative, I took them all for a spin on black ice, steering locks drifting. Calm from the shock. Oncoming brights hot on the windshield. It's one particular raindrop. Caught struggling in their incandescence. Took my hands off the wheel and cut the engine. I wish kind of this was all locked in together for one gigantic explanation, but it feels like, well, I almost need to get in. God, these lyrics. It's like the more you try to dig into the lyrics, the more questions you find. And then as you answer those questions, you find more questions within the answers because now the other shit starts to make sense. A day, in a week, in a year where everything exactly as you feared. Lightning could strike me right here, holding the phone to my ear the rest of my life. I'm going to be like, yo, sinner, right there. The rest of my life. It reminds me of the saying, if you want to keep a man warm, you build him a fire. If you want to keep a man warm for the rest of his life, you set him on fire. But I'm trying to relate that to what he's trying to say. And maybe it's just this shock, this idea of it could all just go like that, like lightning strike, and then that would be it. It was just, it was right here. I was standing right here when it all happened. Boxes under the stairs, found some old Nike Airs still tight, dust them off like I remember working nights for this pair. I like that too. These things that we crave and, you know, want to buy and need to have and chase after and do all this stuff for, and then what, a year later we don't even remember that we have them anymore, you know? How often that happens. It's something that really bothers me with our society. Like I was thinking the other day, you know, if I had a magic wand and I was the government, essentially, right? Like what would I do, right? If I'm going to try and fix things, what would I do? I would really like to be part of a society where there's a lot of focus on and emphasis on recycling, recovering material, reusing material. And I know that's a lot of effort and I know that's expensive, but I just feel like that would be better overall rather than consumption and using and throwing it away and make a new one and all that kind of stuff. I remember reading an article years ago, or maybe it was like a video or something, but it was this family that did this challenge of, for 1 year, they were not going to throw away anything. So the idea isn't you just keep all this trash, but no. The way they changed how they bought things. And of course they reused everything. And, you know, when they bought something, they had to make sure there was no extra plastic and all. And they just really went through this challenge of trying to live a life that, you just didn't consume a bunch of stuff. And of course, you can imagine how insanely hard that is to do. But also, it was kind of a fascinating thing. And it was a long time ago, so I don't really remember too much of it. But it completely transformed how they did things. Like they had so much excess, essentially, because they saved things and they reused things and they did all this stuff. They cleaned things, they repaired things, and they spent a lot less money. They hardly produced any waste. Like it was really kind of a fascinating thing. Anyway, that's my story. It's a great story. Great story. That's something my wife and I do to each other. If you want to know a little insight to the home, we'll do that. We'll walk up to each other and say some stupid ass shit, and we'll just go, anyway, that's my story. And the other one goes, oh, that was a great story. We do that a lot. It's fun. It's for fun. Like stretchy pants. It's for fun. Let's go to 7. It's called Bedtime. Kenny Siegel's producing. 2-minute track. Dropping in. Did I press play? Yeah. Is it actually playing though? Spotify? Oh, I hear the wind. Odd. Very odd.
Whoa. One night, every woman came up out her grave, or wherever she was put, murdered, some cleverly hidden place. Niggas was hiding behind drapes, trying to load the 38. Went to shoot, I'm like, what that gonna do? That bullet's for you, trust, you don't wanna see her face. The monster's 8, I'm a hyena, so it's nothing to wait. Played the backlog in the fire crack, shadows dance about the cave. They gave the shadows names, give men freedom, they'll beg for chains. Go-karts, how they did the Saab. Wasn't no cops, Air Force or Al-Shabaab. Unless you talking toy guns in the backyard, in which case they was going hard. Obviously school's out, no inside voices scream and shout. The world's a playground, first kiss on the mouth, forgot to be embarrassed, but the sun crept. Thinking of that empty house as the shadows stretched. The dog ran off, didn't come back yet.
Trip the fuck out on that. What the fuck? What the fuck? I like that one. But let's go through this. Let's go through. Both these verses are incredible. They're wild. Verse 1. One night, every woman came up out of her grave, or whatever she was put, murdered, some cleverly hidden place. Guys was hiding behind the drapes. I love how he shoots off, says, arguing, trying to load a 38. Went to shoot. I'm like, what's that going to do? That bullet's for you. Trust. You don't want to see her face. The monster's 8. I'm a hyena, so it's nothing to wait. And the hyena part, too, is really fascinating in the sense of, yeah, they kind of linger around and take the scraps, but they're also known for laughing, right? So it's this idea of a monster, essentially, of consequence coming to destroy the person who did it, and laughing at the person as they have to now face the consequence of what they've done. Play the back, log in the fire crack. Shadows dance about the cave. They gave the shadows names. Give men freedom, they'll beg for chains, beg for change. Ain't no bedtime, mama on cocaine. What the fuck? Like, click on this annotation here. These bars reference the allegory of the cave by Plato. Okay. Okay. I think Billy Woods, it's pretty safe to say, is pretty well read. Which is fun because it just makes for interesting fucking lyrics. Even if it's right over my bald head, it makes for interesting lyrics. So I wonder what he was reading from Plato that then, ain't no bedtime, mama's on cocaine. I don't fucking know, man. Verse 2 is pretty incredible. One morning, all grown-ups was missing. Once it dawned on them, kids ate all the snacks in the kitchen, lest they was poor. Then they went in the store, took all that and more, riding shopping carts like bumper cars, go-karts, how they did the Saab. Wasn't no cops, Air Force, or Al-Shabaab. Unless you're talking toy guns in the backyard, in which case it was going hard. Obviously, school was out. No inside voices. Scream and shout. The world's a playground. First kiss on the mouth. Forgot to be embarrassed. So the kids are just having a blast, right? Like, finally, right? No more adults. Finally. But the sun crept, thinking of that empty house as the shadows stretch. The dog ran off, didn't come back yet. So it really, really fun, like, thought, or whatever you want to call it, of just, finally I'm free. I don't have these people looking over me and telling me what to do. And I can do all this stuff and go have fun. But also now I'm realizing all of my protection is gone. The person that takes care of me and protects me and keeps me safe is gone. And now I have to deal with the shadows and the darkness myself, my fears myself. Really kind of. And of course, the production being absolutely weird as fuck while that's happening is the wonderful Kenny Siegel cherry on top. So then I go, okay, what's this? What is he actually fucking talking about? Because we've got these two verses that are so very bizarre in the same song. What's the relation? And it definitely hinges around actions, consequences, obviously wanting freedom, but then the price that comes with that absolute freedom. Maybe a lack of freedom does come with some protection. Maybe having protection is worth the cost of a little bit of freedom. Especially when you weave in these last bits off of verse 1. Give men freedom, they'll beg for chains. Beg for change. But I guess that's all part of Plato. I don't know. And the thing too with like Billy Woods is like the song's called Bedtime. Maybe he was just reading Plato before he went to bed, and he's like, here's my fucking lyrics for a song. Who fucking knows, right? Wild fucking track. The world, I love this, no inside voices. Scream and shout. The world's a playground. Let's keep going. This is called Crawl Space. It is track 8. It's featuring Euclid. No, I always want to call him Lucid. The way it's just, I don't know if I got fucking dyslexia or what. I always want to call him Lucid. But maybe it's elucid. Anyway. Euclid. But that's not how it's spelled. Lelucid. That is not Euclid at all. Maybe he spelled it wrong. Yeah, it's possible. Very possible. Just fucking mashing the keyboard using that cobra hand, right? Anyway, Crawl Space, track 8, drop it in. Oh.
Yeah.
This beat sound like 257 black kids hopping off the P14 bus like a Universal Circus clown car. Fresh braids, cuts and kicks, truant past burning woods, exposed wrists, great smoke drift, stones and sticks, shorty talk shit.
Shit,
It's paid
this is
to
fucking
do it.
great.
Major, raised within a range of ruins, wakes and viewings, screaming when I Willie come try kill me out the moon roof. A real goony goo goo, don't overcook the noodle. Self-described revolutionaries rolling bugles still confuse me. I don't judge, still like my gold ropes dookie. New steez 4 seasons, fresh out of reasons to not fuck with you. Tough titty, I never been really that comfortable. Sun still shine, run tell mine, darkening your threshold. Wages of sin held in escrow. Salt, pepper, ketchup, barbecue sauce, the egg roll. Set a young red bone, lips smack deep fried in the dead zone. Get back. We sing philosophy and ham bone precise findings. I reside inside a nigga rig time machine, powered by bones of those who choose to survive by violent means. Plain
This
sight,
is wild.
hiding
Hectic.
behind the
Very hectic.
Whose ways is strange when it's time to survive? Pray on the plane, get off, laugh at God. Goddamn shame, but gave him the nod. Game is the game, still slept like a log. There's 2 versions to the story in mine. A bone poked through, chip bars to which side? You not growing very large. Bitch, you gon' die in his heart. Bitch, you gon' die in his heart.
No idea what this is
It's
about.
2 versions of the story in mine. A bone poked through, chip bars to which side? You not growing very large. This is America, it's not for the weakest stomach. Waiting on Donald Glover outside the Dakota. I'm at the telly waiting for Reagan to show up. Beard had him nervous at the straw purchase. I said it's not like she in a burger, rest assured. These is for regular murder. The news is all mergers, state murders, the indictment of public service. Couple lines on former offensive line, sorted demise. I bookmarked it for later. Doorman direct me to the service elevator. Nah, grin like you did me a favor, neighbor. Smiles is all razors though. Eyes is laser, scan the name tag for the day we check your toothy papers. State news station said statements outrageous, but can't deny the charm rakish though.
I don't know what to make of this one. Let's go over this end bit real quick. Whatever it take to make the playlist desperate to get in the matrix. My agent, an automated recording of yes, he'll take it. Proceed with caution though. In this climate, you should know my client's overtly racist. The idea of having an agent that is just yes, he'll take it. Yes, he'll take it. Yes, he'll take it. You know, not being nitpicky about anything is kind of wild. But then also just this whatever it takes to make the playlist desperate to get in the matrix, like just trying to make it somehow, some way, and so just doing anything. Doorman direct me to the service elevator. Nod, grin like you did me a favor. Neighbor smiles is all razors though. Eyes is lasers. Scanned the name tag for the day we chicken Tootsie's papers. So the Hutus and the Tutsis, that was Rwanda. Yeah, these lines are referring to emerging mass surveillance technologies such as retinal scanning now being deployed for crime fighting. The evocation of the Tutsis, an ethnic group in Rwanda, victims of one of the worst genocides in recent history. Yeah, suggests a more sinister purpose. State news stations said statements are outrageous, but can't deny the charm rakish, though. This is a critique of Fox News, calling it a state news station, meaning it exists to publish spun information convenient to the powers that be. More specifically, it criticizes the reaction to the Trump campaign, painting every instance of ridiculous or racist rhetoric as a billionaire being a charming everyman of a candidate who isn't afraid to say what we're all thinking. Okay. Sure. Billy Woods is very, so I have no fucking idea. It's 2 versions to the story. In mine, a bone poked through chipped bars. The witch sighed, said you're not growing very large. What the fuck is this about? In the grim fairy tale Hansel and Gretel, the witch has caged Hansel and is feeding him to fatten him up so that she can cook him and eat him. Yep. She feels Hansel's finger to decide whether he's grown fat enough, but he sticks out a bone instead to mislead her into thinking he has remained thin. Okay. And then he says twice, bitch, you're going to die in his heart. You're going to die in his heart. I don't know what to make of that. Let's go to the top, and maybe it makes sense reading from the top. Whose ways is strange when it's time to survive? I did love this next line. Prey on the plane, get off, laugh at God. So when you're on the plane, you're praying, oh, dear Lord, please. Right? And then when you no longer need saving, laugh at God instead. Pretty, I mean, it is a fascinating aspect of the psychology. Especially too when you just consider the idea of, generally speaking, planes are pretty safe. I go to work and there's an intersection I have to deal with that is probably the most dangerous part of my day. That fucking intersection. I've seen so many wrecks there. You got to be very careful. But your daily life, you can go at any time, especially the previous song, right? I was getting struck by lightning. I was just standing right there. Anyway, just the psychology, the idea, praying when you think you're at risk, and then when you don't think you're at risk, which of course you still are, because we always are, then laughing at the person that you were praying to earlier. Elucid had a reference to the Goonies here. Screaming, one-eyed Willie, come try to kill me out the moonroof. A real goonie goo goo, don't overcook the noodle. His verse was pretty kind of odd too, but One-Eyed Willie was the name of the pirate. Goonies, if you're Goonie, they were trying to find the pirate ship and the thing. And let's see if this annotation touches on that. Should say a real goonie goo goo, a reference to Eddie Murphy's stand-up joke. Lucid is saying he's a Bigfoot, MF Do Muscle Spitzes, and Rhinestone Cowboy. Okay, but it's also a reference to the movie The Goonies, because One-Eyed Willie is the pirate. And I know One-Eyed Willie means something else as well, but the pirate in that movie, in that kid's movie, is called One-Eyed Willie because he's got a patch over the one eye. Anyway, makes you wonder sometimes, these people that make the movies and name the characters and what have you, what the fuck are you guys doing? But there you go. I used to love The Goonies as a kid, and then I watched it when I was an adult, and I was like, this is the stupidest movie I've ever seen. But whatever. It's a classic. Whatever. This beat sound like 257 black kids hopping off the B-14 bus like a universal circus clown car. Why are they spelling universal this way? What is that? It's a company. Oh, okay. Fresh braids, cuts and kicks, truant pass, burning woods, exposed wrist, gray smoke drifts, stones and sticks. Shorty talks shit like he's paid to do it. Self-described revolutionaries rolling bugglers still confuse me. I don't judge. Still like my gold ropes too. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff he said. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. So it goes. That's common. Listening to a Billy Woods album is very common for me to walk away and go, well, I don't know. I don't know what that was. Red Light District by Riverboat. I went the farthest. My methods unsound. Tasted all the porridge. Cave bitch slept in the bed. You know she's not going back to the forest. I feel like that's a reference to Goldilocks. Yeah.
Because you tasted all the porridge.
Yeah. His character boorish, bravado without the courage. Mar-a-Lago, hollow the minute he nutted, disgusted, the nerve to be disgusted. This is America. It's not for the weak of stomach. Waiting on Donald Glover outside the Dakota. That's got to be a reference to his music video, right? But let's click on the annotation. An unsubtle reference to the 2018 hit This is America, a socially aware trap anthem accompanied by iconic music video that explores the horrors and horrible acts committed in the US of A, especially racism and gun crime. The Dakota is a 19th century building located in New York at 72nd Street and Central Park West. It's best known as the place where outside former Beatles member John Lennon was gunned down. This fate is a direct tie-in to the fatalities caused by guns that Donald Glover discusses. Okay. God, Billy Woods is all over the place with his lyrics, man. Let's keep going. This is called Speak Gently. It is track 9. It is almost 5 minutes long. Self Jupiter is featured, and Kenny Siegel is producing. Drop it into 9. Speak gently.
Seeing your bars building, there should be an
Production is not
inflatable
cheap.
rap. Use a scab. Verses came bubble wrapped in styrofoam. It's pretty bland. Homegirls say everybody just doing what they can. I nodded, but nah, these dudes are trash. Honest, man, be honest. Turn up at the scene of the crash. I'm a bad penny. I'm the feeling after you kill him and seen the safe empty. The weight lift like payday lending. Face twisted the memory. One machine for vending, the other take empties. This your land of plenty. This your land of plenty. It was all I could do to speak gently. Gently.
Huh.
I'm only rhyming where the horns at. But any port in the storm black. Landed balls deep in the landed gentry. Port of entry. Centuries melt away at Sephora counters. My hit sit 'em on Broadway at Debbie Downer. Sonny Corleone on the causeway. Easy pass past the cowards.
Yeah, I have no idea. No idea what that shit means.
All villains, all grown-ups, only one few soldiers, generals, mostly civilians. But when caps started peeling, it was actually sad, almost like watching a fat guy do half a push-up. Caps was pushed back when the little homies pulled up. Just speaking gently, simply.
Hey, come on, hey, homie. Yeah, this nigga's wanted. On real though. Oh, on the nigga, what? Oh shit, nigga, give me that shit, give me that motherfucker.
I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on, man.
So we're there.
So it looks like he's gonna have some spoken word stuff. I obviously, as you can tell if you're watching, I have something in my eye that is driving me insane. Let's go over some lyrics. There's something in there. I can't get it out. I always assume it's a cat hair because we have the 2 kitties. This is quite bothersome. I'm actually going to take a break real quick. Okay. Well, I didn't do anything. But it just stopped the eye pain. So there you go. Great. Let's go through some lyrics here. Came in with a banger on the production. Like just not speaking gently at all. Quite loud. Senior buzz building. There should be an inflatable rat. Use a scab. Verses came bubble wrapped in styrofoam. It's pretty bland. Homegirl saying everybody just doing what they can. I nodded, but nah, these dudes are trash. Be honest, man. Be honest. Turn up the scene of the crash. I'm a bad penny. This is an incredible line. I'm the feeling after you killed him and seen the safe empty. I mean, I don't know how to imagine that, but trying to imagine that, killing somebody because you're robbing them and then you open the safe and then there's nothing. That's a feeling. The weight lift like payday lending, face twisted the memory. One machine for vending, the other take empties. This your land of plenty? This your land of plenty? I feel like that's just a reference to America, I suppose. Let's click on the annotations, through the annotations. He laments, this your land of plenty. This comes after he explains how much despair exists in the lower classes in the U.S. Yeah. The verse seeds woods explore the lengths people will go to for money, and this line pokes fun at the irony of it all. America is referred to the richest country in the world, but also has strikingly high rates of poverty, especially considering it is such a wealthy nation. It was all I could do to speak gently. I'm only rhyming where the horn's at, but any port in a storm, black landed balls. This is where I'm like, I have no fucking idea. Port of entry, centuries, melt away at Sephora counters. This line is a pun. Centuries melt away, referring to the narcotizing effect of late capitalist culture and fluorescent lighting of a big box stores, but centuries melting away also implies the loss of revolutionary spirit. Okay. Sonny Corleone on the causeway, easy pass past the cowards. What's that about? Godfather, sure. Iconic death scene. Words casting himself as Sonny. Only in this scenario, his adversaries are the police and he survives. Easy pass and electronic toll system, yeah. Okay. I haven't watched The Godfather in forever. I need to watch it again. It's been a long, long time. Probably like 20 years since I've seen The Godfather. And then Self Jupiter, I don't know. I don't know. I grabbed them. Well, I don't want to read that part. From the Fellowship, talk about your hot potato. Well, something to trip off. Operator, give me the ambulance. A tambourine crashed on somebody's head. Pieces of wig, weaves, and dreads. Fools catching Z's left and right. Bitches swinging purses. Security nursing themselves like it was the fallout in Chernobyl. Jawjackers in the corner trying to dial up, but it's no signal, especially if you're using T-Mobile. Hollywood Cole yawn. Who want that fade? Got slid on his back pockets. Two of the homegirls giving this big bitch the business. All villains, all grown-ups. Only one few soldiers. Generals, mostly civilians. But when caps start peeling, it was actually sad. Almost like watching a fat guy do half a push-up. Scalps was pushed back when the little homies pulled up, just speaking gently, simple, hey. I don't know what the fuck it's about. It's like a fight or something, I guess. And now we've got the spoken word part. So we'll finish out the outro. And there's my terrible attempt at understanding any of the lyrics in this song.
When you're poor, let me explain to you, right? I lived in this building for like almost 20 years. Just say 20 years. And almost the whole time I lived there, I got mail for Rolodon. I got mail for Mr. Sahadi. It's creditors, car insurance. It's the hospital bill, police, man, ambulance, insurance. That's why you don't get your mail. Protective services. Somebody getting my mail right now. After I'm dead, they still gonna be getting my mail. I'm getting your mail. I'm reading it. It says you're broke.
Interesting. I don't know what to make of that song. It's really fascinating kind of end part there. And you know, I was going to say, I don't know if I'll listen to it again, but it is kind of, again, it's one of those things where it's so odd, and it's not necessarily random in this. I mean, this is actually one of the rare times when Billy Woods is explaining himself, right? With this idea of you don't have your mail forwarded when you're poor, and if you're getting other people's mail, that's how you know you're poor, and nobody has their mail forwarded when they're poor because it's just bills and people trying to find you, and you owe money and all this other shit. And like, no, I don't want you to find me. I don't want to get that bill. But then the additional layer of you move, and then you end up somebody else, and now you get somebody else's mail, and now somebody else is getting your mail, and it's kind of a layer too of, hopefully, ideally, if you're moving, it's because you're moving to a better place. You know, it's, I know it happens, but no one's really trying to move to a worse location. So if the idea is you're moving to a better place, if you're moving up, you know, you're improving, but then you're still getting other people's mail, it's just like no, you're still poor. You know, it's like the go, no go check, basically. Well, there you go. There's Speak Gently. I don't know what to make of it. There is a dog outside just fucking barking. I think it's been barking for like an hour. I don't think you guys can hear it. When I look at my little audio setting, I can see the bar move basically, and it's not moving with the bar, but you might hear it, and it's starting to piss me off. I fucking cannot stand these people that let their dogs bark. Now, I'm assuming, it's middle of the day Friday. They're probably not home, but oh God, it's so obnoxious. Anyway, that's my story about the barking dog. I can hear it through the damn headphones. Let's go to 10. It's called Toothy. Little track, 2 minutes. Kenny Siegel's producing. Drop it into 10. Toothy.
Dessert? Are you having dinner, Mr. Wolf?
Not yet, my dear.
Is that Red Riding Hood, right?
Halloween on Christmas, make sure the mask fit. Eyes glittering through the eye holes, exchange gifts. Station chief in Cairo, add a name to the list. That's 86. The band's armor plate, look how it sit. Mugabe never hesitated, Samora did. That's why Samora dead, Lee Perry alive. Cancer 8, Marty leg, old Bob won't die. All told, he told no lies. Count to 10 when he closed both eyes. Orphan said, more please. Persephone came home to Orpheus with sore knees, flushed cheeks. I get why you don't want to believe that water get deep. Obama Kush when he speaks, so articulate. Lee stuck in his buck teeth, stuck in the bucket seats, tow truck. Pull me through Manhattan, wave like a king. Woe to whoever not
Waved like a
rats
king.
scat in a predictable pattern. The pimp nails like talons. Still in my seat when the movie ends. When the credits roll, big toothy grin. Big old bag of candy I snuck in. Might as well run it again. Weak and strong, your limbic system not a friend. It's not a friend. Every knee bends when the engineer cueing stems. Steeple chase, she pressed gas, I pumped the brakes. Sheepish face, how bad you wanna know? Like a box of unmarked VHS tapes. How bad? In your dad's storage space, nobody knew about. Till he passed, they called the payment was late. The rust flaked off when you raised the gate.
Showing all of his long, glistening teeth.
That's a wild one right there. Which feels redundant to say. Yes, I mean, we're listening to Billy Woods. Of course it's a wild one. Made haste to vacate the place. The ride smelled like wedding cake. Steeple chase. She pressed the gas. I pumped the brakes. I feel like that's what is that? 15 words or something like that of the common struggle in relationships where, you know, typically the woman is pressing to get married. Let's take the relationship further. Let's get commitment, all that stuff. And the guy is just pumping the brakes. Made haste to vacate the place. The ride smelled like wedding cake. Steeplechase, which is where you'd go to get married. She pressed the gas. I pumped the brakes. This is kind of a fascinating thing too. How bad do you want to know? Like a box of unmarked VHS tapes in your dad's storage space nobody knew about till he passed. They called, the payment was late. The rust flaked off when you raised the gate. How bad do you want to know? And that's, I mean, so the first thing with that is, for VHS tapes and stuff, I mean, I guess you kind of would have to do it with any form of like media content in terms of video, but you got to go through it all if you want to know what it is. But do you really want to know what it is? But I'm trying to like loop that into this whole concept of toothy and the wolf. Especially like toodaloo, goodbye, Mr. Wolf, toodaloo. When you raise the gate. How bad do you want to know? Because it could be something incredible, right? It could be videos of when you were a kid or something. It could be something awful. And now that I really kind of simmer on this one, I wonder if that's what's going on here with this whole, you know, the wolf dressed as the grandma. And it's this idea of it's prior to the realization of the wolf. You can allow, and we'll just take it for what this is. You know, it's your dad's old storage space. He's died. You go in there to look through all his shit. Here's a bunch of unmarked VHS tapes. You don't know what's in them. And at that point, your dad is still your dad, whoever that is. And you can change that by watching these tapes and potentially learning something amazing or something horrific about your dad. Or you can not watch them and your dad can remain your dad. That's pretty... How bad do you want to know? Shit like that is why I like Billy Woods so much. He's just, I feel like his brain is kind of this a bit of a kindred spirit of just this constant fucking, not treadmill, for the little gerbils. What do you call them? The wheels? There's a specific word. Anyway, the wheel, the running hamster wheel. There you go. I feel like his brain just does the same thing. Just constantly going, seeing shit and thinking about it, seeing shit and thinking about it. And he does a great job too of I don't know what it is about him lyrically, the way he writes. I see it, which is rare for me. I don't often. I've talked about this before on a video recently. I don't remember which one, but usually when I read, I don't see it. And so reading isn't as engaging for me because I just don't see it. I don't visualize it. But with Billy Woods, man, he puts some shit out there sometimes and I see it. And so I can just picture this. Yeah, your dad's dead. You show up to the storage space. Hey, you got to get all this shit out of here. Your payment's late. Okay, whatever. Then you roll it up. You're going through. And then here's this box of tapes. Now, do you want to know what's on the tapes? You know? And a part of that question is, of course, I'm sorry I'm hitting on this so much, but it's fascinating too. Part of that question is, too, is your own perception of the person already. Like, what if you hate this person? No, I don't want to know. But, okay, but what if there's something on there that you never knew about that's actually wonderful and now you can reconcile your feelings and all that? And then the inverse is true. What if you thought whoever this is, your parent, whoever, was an amazing person, and you watch these videos and you find out they're just sadistic, twisted, awful person because they had these tapes. I don't know, man. Rats scatter in a predictable pattern. The pimp nails like tile. I love this. Tow truck pulled me through Manhattan, waved like a king. So everybody's looking at him in his car, in his broke down car. But it's almost like a parade for a king at the same time. Shit. And there's all these little lyrics I didn't even touch on. But my brain is starting to spin, basically. We're getting towards the end. It's only a 40-minute album, but I mean, I knew it was going to take a long ass time to record this. The next one, which is track 11, is called Big Fake Laugh. Kenny Siegel producing, dropping into 11, and Toothy gets a heart.
Oh. You mean today? No N-words, no Irish. Shopkeeper pointed to the sign. His work sets you free on the gate. To the gate. Everything in there stretch, measured, weighed. Paid for a plate. Window round the side. Nodded when the brother ladled extra into mine. Squatted and ate lard biscuits, fried hog rind. It was divine. Right there in the Bible. All caps, stick with your own kind. Cafe lime on Nard's Fred 75. Ordered in a dive. Social worker said, close your eyes. Tell me where you see yourself in 5, then write it down. Come on, guys, it's just a thought exercise. She walked down the road, she had thick thighs. Big hips, ass kind of flat, but that's fine. Cover my answer, cause fuck these other motherfuckers. Before the jig's up, need every red cent, more than a few dimes. Before they dig
wild,
me,
man.
a lawyer and an alibi. I got a letter from my insurer the other day, opened and read it. Said the treatment wasn't covered, turned to the family like I guess just forget it. Big fake laugh. This ain't a Denzel movie, don't try to think fast. Don't start changing lanes, get yourself whiplash.
I'm just sitting here like, I don't even know. I'm speechless, I suppose. Got a letter for the insurer the other day. Opened it and read it. This has to be good news. Said the treatment wasn't covered. Turned to the family like, I guess just forget it. Big fake laugh. Ha ha ha. This ain't a Denzel movie. Don't try to think fast. Don't start changing lanes. Get yourself whiplashed. Oh, look. Got yourself a shit bag. Is that like a colonoscopy bag? Yeah. Either a reference to a little shit bag or a worthless person. Yeah, sure. Sure. Good catch. Good catch there, annotator. On the double meaning, yeah, a worthless person. Because it could just be on him for having shitty insurance, you know? Or you got a shitty job, you got shitty benefits, what have you. This shit is fucking wild. She said, try working a 9 to 5. I got half of mine, and that was the end of our time. I find it has a tendency to fly. Time to ask Tyrone, do we drive? You can't eat pride. You can try. Social worker said, close your eyes. Tell me where you see yourself in 5, then write it down. Come on, guys. It's just a thought exercise. She walked down the road. She had thick thighs, big hips, ass kind of flat, but that's fine. Covered my answer because fuck these other motherfuckers. Before the jig's up, need every red cent and more than a few dimes. Part's interesting with the social worker thing and the thought exercise because the whole idea is supposed to be community working together, but he's so against, them even knowing what his idea is. And then, I need every red cent and then more than a few dimes. Wild shit, man. No N-words, no Irish. Shopkeeper pointed to the signage. So there's just some sign. I don't know where the fuck that is. But no black people, no Irish, essentially. Work sets you free on the gate to the gate. That's a Holocaust reference right there. Yeah. Well, this is saying Auschwitz, but it's definitely Holocaust. Everything in there stretched, measured, weighed, paid for a plate, window around the side, nodded when the brother ladled extra into mines, squatted and ate lard, biscuits, fried hog rind. It was divine. Right there in the Bible, all caps, stick with your own kind. So some experience, some encounter where we saw some sign, but then the brother hooked him up with extra. Fucking dude, the guy's thought process is just all over the place. But then later in the same verse, he doesn't want to share his answer to everybody else around him. Fuck these other motherfuckers. It's just big fake laugh. Let's keep going. Big fake laugh. Love the production. Fucking crazy beat.
You really want to keep it a secret? Hide it from yourself. Out of mind. Hit it as a child, now it's on too big to reach it. Took the baby out of arms, waiting at the deep end. Waited for dad to come home. Turned the evening. Tree limbs skimmed the water, the dark deepened. The car swerved, rainy season. The regime purge, leaking. Cold, teeth chattering, that's life leaving.
This is fucking nuts.
Well beyond reason. The urn Grecian. This is just bookkeeping, it's no bottom like crooked policemen. In Africa you lead twins in the forest. My sister had the courage to pay for us. Before they set us up, need a lawyer and an alibi.
No idea.
Before
Holy
we do
fuck.
the gig, let them know I'm camera shy. Shelves full of books, it's a secret passageway on the other side. Surprise, surprise.
Dude, that might be my favorite off the album. I mean, I do like Spongebob. That's a good one. That's a good opener. There was another one too. I've enjoyed a lot of them, but that one was just nuts. Nuts. Yeah, before we do the gig, let him know I'm camera shy. I know he doesn't let his face be seen. Shelves full of books. It's a secret passageway on the other side. I wonder if that means the secret passage being like knowledge, as in if you read all these books, you'll actually end up on the other side and having all this knowledge. Just click the annotation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dude, what a nut song. Really want to keep it a secret, hide it from yourself. Hid it as a child, now his arms too big to reach it. Took the baby out of her arms, waded into the deep end, waited for dad to come home, turned to evening. Tree limbs skimmed the water, the dark deepened, the car swerve. Rainy season, the regime purge, leaking. Cold, teeth chattering, that's life leaving. The demiurge, well beyond reason. The urn Granetian, that's what it got to be. This is just bookkeeping. Perhaps a reference to Ode on a Granetian Urn, which is a poem written by a romantic poet. But I feel like he's talking about, it's no bottom like crooked policeman. I feel like he's talking about when his dad died. Maybe. Let's read this one. Appears a reference to car accident Billy's father was in when he was a kid, which he talks about in some detail in Dirge. Okay. I don't know if that's what he killed. But I mean, the urn's Grecian. This is just bookkeeping. I mean, if you're getting an urn, somebody died, right? Water unseasonably warm for the long weekend. My father prepared a place and waited in a storm of spirits. We was delivered. My father's house has many rooms. Mr. Biswell is at the bend in the river swimming. Swimming now. He was born knowing. Born with the call, all eyes open. When a baby is born with call, it emerges still inside the amniotic sac. Some believe this is a sign of good luck. Okay. My mother made me promise to bring her body to the ocean. Not here, but warm Caribbean waters. In Africa, you leave the twins in the forest. What the fuck? In some West African cultures, twins are seen as a bad omen sent by the gods. This is true of the Igbo society portrayed in the novel Things Fall Apart, which Wood references frequently in his music. As a consequence, this is a quote, as a consequence, whenever twins were born, the parents had to leave them at the evil forest to die. According to Achebe, twins were put in earthenware pots and thrown away in the forest. But then the following line is, my sister had the courage to pay for us. This is nuts, dude. The production, everything. This is nuts. God, dude, what a song. All this shit in one song. God damn. Final track. Track 12, Red Dust, 3.5 minutes, Kenny Siegel. I don't even know what to say at this point. You know, I didn't talk about the cover at all. I didn't talk about the title of the album, Hiding Places. Yeah, I feel like actually it's kind of just wildly convenient that I'm saying that as we get, you know, through this song, bigfakelaugh. You really want to keep it a secret, hide it from yourself. And just so much of this album has felt like such a hodgepodge of emotion and thoughts and just different things that one person may try to hide from themselves, you know? Who knows? What a ride, man. All right, let's drop into 12, Red Dust. Here we go.
It's not the heat, it's the dust. It's not the money, it's the rush. It's not the weed that's a crutch. It's not greed, that's not enough. It's not the heat, it's the dust. It's not the drugs, it's the cut. It's not the act, it's a touch. It's how she arched her back when she knocked the plane out the sky, sparked the genocide. Let's see who gives who a place to hide. You might be surprised. Either way, be wise to retrieve that black box. If you live, sometimes it's best just to circle the block. I was in the ceiling when they swept the building. I kept my head down when cops came for the children. I rode the train every day past that fucking prison. I broke bread with killers and rapists. I got money with niggas. You should not leave with the child for 2 fucking seconds. They don't tell you that in they raps. You on the list. Planet ain't big enough, we can't coexist. Say my prayers every night, you be in the mix. I can't wait, dream about it like sex. At you off the rip, help you remember what you trying to forget. I want us to be alone in your home. I want to suck the marrow out your bones. I want to show you what I learned from the worst people I ever known. I want to follow you like the Jakes. I want to swallow you, show you the hate inside. It's a lake, so cold, so deep. I see you, you never saw me. Transferred to the sea, so close I can see a nick from shaving. Your neck so exposed, your throat would open like a hole. Eyes wide open, I would watch you go. Seeing you in hell, all I'm thinking about when they say woods. That's all she wrote. I know the list long. I put you at the fucking top though.
Fucking wild, dude. Fucking wild. I don't even know where to read. We're going to read the whole thing. It's not the heat, it's the dust. It's not the money, it's the rush. It's not the weed, that's a crutch. It's not greed. That's not enough. Like, I like how he emphasizes that later on in the song. He says, I'm not being greedy, that's just not enough, you know? Here's verse 1. Knock the plane out the sky, spark the genocide. Let's see who gives who a place to hide. You might be surprised, you might not. Either way, it'd be wise to retrieve that black box. If you live, sometimes it's best just to circle the block. I feel like that line right there, like if someone's looking for you and you're out, rather than trying to duck into where your house is, just kind of circle the block and make sure you're not being followed type of thing. That would be my guess. I don't know. Or don't even go in, because here's what comes after that line, which to me brings in a lot of context. I was in the ceiling when they swept the building. I kept my head down when the cops came for the children. I rode the train every day past that fucking prison. I broke bread with killers and rapists. I got money with people you should not leave your child with for 2 fucking seconds. They don't tell you that in their raps. Don't tell me that's the past. I live in the past, Jack. It ain't that different. People rhyme fast about bitches. People supposedly abstract. White boys take what they want and just flip it. Flip it. Let's click this. Here's what the annotation says. Cultural appropriation has become a hot topic in society at large, especially hip-hop. Some of the biggest stars of music have been accused of being culture vultures who've copied black artists and become successful doing so. The prominent example of such an artist may have been Elvis Presley, but from Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones to Eminem to Post Malone, many have followed have been accused of similar actions. Given the track's context of violence in Africa, they may also refer to colonialism in Africa, in which white settlers took what they wanted in South Africa and other countries. Wood refers to this process and its impact in other places on the album. Shrugged before he licked the revolver, should have listened. Now these the shenanigans you involve with this the system. Crocodile slid it in, almost graceful how he swim. I'm a savage, volcano rim, just toss him in. Here's verse 2. You on the list. Planet ain't big enough, we can't coexist. Say my prayers every night, you'll be in the mix. I can't wait. Dream about it like sex. Etch you off with the writ, and the writ I think is written like a warrant. Help you remember what you're trying to forget. I want us to be alone in your home. I want to suck the marrow out of your bones. I want to show you what I learned from the worst people I've ever known. I want to follow you like the Jakes, which is like the police. I want to swallow you, show you the hate inside. It's a lake so cold, so deep. I see you, you never saw me. Transferred to the sea. I'm assuming that's like a train transfer? Yeah. So close I can see a nick from shaving. Your neck so exposed, your throat would open like a hose. Eyes wide open, I would watch you go. Seeing you in hell, all I think about when they say Woods, that's all she wrote. I know the list long. I put you at the fucking top, though. God damn. God damn. I don't know what to say about any of this. You know, this thing too, the cultural appropriation. I remember there was a couple of years ago, there was some guy on Twitter rampaging about me. I'm a culture vulture apparently, and all this other shit. And I appreciated that a lot of people were defending me and saying, no, that's not the case. He really does try to listen. And I do try to listen. But it is also true that I am not exposed to black culture. This actually came up last week. I was going through some of the comments on my Baby Keem reaction, the Casino album, which I thought was fine. I wasn't really blown away. I wasn't disappointed by it. Like, I didn't dislike it, but I wasn't really blown away. And so people were upset about that. I also mentioned that I wasn't really blown away by the movie Sinners. And people did not like that. Apparently you are not allowed to say Sinners is just a vampire movie. People don't like that. Don't say Sinners is fine. No, you have to say Sinners is an amazing movie. Obviously, I didn't really feel that way. I mentioned that. People left some comments. But I feel like people forget. I mean, you guys know me in terms of just who I am as a person. This is me. But like my life, yeah, I don't have any black culture in my life. And it's unfortunate. I really don't have any culture in my life. I don't. Where I work, it's just a bunch of fucking dudes in their 30s and their 40s that bitch about Democrats, and it's just so fucking boring. Just the same people saying the same thing all the time. I don't like it. And then my friends, I don't see my friends very often, unfortunately. And really all I do is just kind of try to huddle away in my house, or I'm out in the desert, or we're out in the mountains, or just away. Most of the decisions that I make, if you really look at it, I'm just trying to be away from society. I'm not a fan of society as it stands right now. American society specifically, but man, just in general, I feel like everything's just gone crazy. So I make no effort. I make no effort to meet people. I make no effort to go out and try new things and go to new places. I mean, we go to places, but a lot of the places we go to are just places we've been before and we like going to. But really, man, a lot of the stuff I do is away from people in general. Got my family, like my family, immediate family, obviously, nuclear family, or however you want to call it, you know, fucking in-laws and stuff like that. And they're all cool and very fortunate in that regard. But yeah, when it comes to culture, I feel very absent of culture in my own life. I remember when we went to London years ago for a little vacation and stuff, and just kind of going around. No, this was the Ireland trip. I remember having an existential crisis, essentially. Like, it was day 3, and I was essentially flipping out. Like, oh my God, I have no roots. I have no roots. I have no history. I have no foundation. I just felt like a tumbleweed just tossing through the wind, because you go to places like Ireland and stuff like that, and there's so much history there. And I know so little about my own family history, you know, where they're from. I'm basically just up to my grandparents. That's it. I don't know anything about where I come from. And it really fucked with my head. That was a while ago. That was like a long time ago, 15 years ago or something. Actually, probably even longer than that. So when people talk about culture, I just go, I have no idea. I don't know shit about culture. Aside from the culture that I exist within, you know, kind of at work and stuff, online, which is just garbage culture, right? I don't even want to call that culture. It's just a fucking migraine, essentially. Yeah, my culture is beer and music and video games, man. I don't have a connection to a culture at all. I don't feel like, anyway. And then the society that I'm in, I'm just like, please no, please. I feel like, you know, Billy Woods, who was talking about earlier, you know, was trying to sneak through the front of the corner store so he can get his $5 charge card, but doesn't want to bump into anybody. That's how I feel. I just don't want to fucking bump into anybody. I avoid people at work. I do. Even the people I like. I don't even want to talk half the time to people. Now, I say all this, and I shouldn't go too hard, because it's not like I hate people. I do enjoy talking to people, and when I go to shows and stuff and people come up and say hello, I always enjoy that. It's challenging, because it's like this duality that exists, where when you actually just meet people and talk to them, they're pretty cool, but then when it turns into like this group, everything changes, it seems like. I don't know. It's just odd. Very odd. I love one-on-one conversations. Those I really enjoy, as long as we're talking about something that is actually interesting, which makes it just sound like a fucking self-centered.
No one's ever going to come up and talk to you again.
People will come up and talk to me. I hope so. But no, I was just going to say, it makes me sound like a fucking self-centered hypocrite. And I feel that way sometimes. I feel that way. But I do really enjoy like one-on-one conversations. I enjoy conversations where there's depth, where you can actually get into some stuff and really talk about things, and the topic doesn't go sideways. It doesn't get distracted. It doesn't get like poison pilled with some other topic that people just get pissed off about, and now the discussion shuts down. You know, I like talking about things. It is fascinating when you get a chance to explore. And I think really that's where a lot of my struggle comes from, is I feel like we don't do that anymore. Now podcasts do that. I think that's why the podcast format is so great, and I think that's why it's become so popular, this long form, in-depth conversation. I think a lot of us really enjoy that. But you see what happens with podcasts too. They kind of, you know, they start to get popular, and then they start to lean one way or the other, and now here comes the divide, and it's just like, it's like no one's really allowed to ask questions anymore. No one's allowed to challenge their own thoughts, ideas, somebody else's ideas. Oh, no, because now that means you're this or that. It's just, I don't get it. I've been watching a little bit of Candace Owens. Not because I follow her, not because I care about what she has to say, not because of...
To rage?
Huh?
Are you wanting to rage? Is that why you're listening to her?
No, well, I don't listen to her a lot.
Okay.
But she is fucking out for blood on Erica Kirk. I don't know if you've... It is... No, dude, I won't... I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. But, like, she said something on one of the videos that she posted recently. And I don't watch the whole thing. I don't... And let me be very clear. Like, it's not like I'm sitting here believing everything she says. I just find it, like, fascinating from mostly, like, a soap opera point of view. And I'm not even, like, fully following all this shit. I just know that she's, like, going after Erica Kirk big time. But she said a thing today, or whenever it was posted. I saw it today, whenever it was posted. It was recently. And it was something along the lines of, the truth does not fear scrutiny. And yeah. Somewhere out there is something that is true. And if it actually is true, it should be totally comfortable handling questions. The truth should be able to take a question and go, oh yeah, that's a great question. Here's the answer, because this is actually the truth. And I feel like that concept is now kind of lost. Like if you ask a question, well, now you're questioning this authority or this fact or this piece of information, which means you're from the other side and now you're my enemy. It's like, whoa, just calm the fuck down. I don't know how I got here, what I'm talking about. Nice long rant, tangent there. Old man yells at clouds.
That's you.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll call it. Did I even get to verse 2? Oh, I did. I read the whole thing. Yeah. That's right. That's how I got started, because I didn't know what the hell to say. So I just went on a ramble of my Well, how do I feel now at the end? Here we are at the end, right? Everything I kind of said at the beginning. Do I feel better? A little bit, oddly enough. Is as odd as and intense as Billy Woods can be. And it's incredible, just wild production from Kenny Siegel on this one. It does help. And I don't even know why. It's like this calming effect. I feel like maybe it's some sort of just an engagement with all of the questions that circle in my own mind. When I listen to something that's helter-skelter and all over the place and wild and hard to understand, it's almost like putting some tangible texture onto my own feelings that feel like they're all over the place and helter-skelter and hard to define and understand. And I don't know how to explain that. It's kind of like with metal music. There's a guy I used to work with, just as one of the nicest dudes I've ever met in my life. And all he did was listen to the most screaming, fucking thrashing metal music. And it's like, how it was too much for me. I couldn't listen to it. And it was just so wild. And it's almost like, when you meet these guys who do MMA and stuff like that, and they're just, not all of them, obviously not all of them, but I've met some people who did some fighting, and they're just cool. Super cool, super chill, And it's almost like you put fire with fire and you think, well, all that does is, create more fire, but in a weird way with emotions and stuff. Sometimes it's like this thing of, it almost cancels it out. You listen to, when you're pissed off, you listen to pissed off music, and then you just kind of rage for a while, and you're, oh, okay, all better. Rather than making the anger you have inside worse. It doesn't actually fuel it. In some way, it like satiates it. And this wild, random, all over the place shit kind of did the same thing for me. I still feel, in general, how I feel, but I just feel a little less. It's, in a way, it's, especially with like sad music. I feel like sad music is helpful when you are sad because you don't feel as alone. Somebody else has felt this too. Somebody else has gone through this too. And so in a way, it's kind of comforting. As odd as it might sound, as backwards as it might sound to those who are not sad, and why are you listening to this super sad stuff? And it helps. How can that help? It's so sad. But it's kind of the same thing, you know. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy. Maybe I am going crazy, but I'm not the only one going crazy. So great, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. Oh well. Well, there you go. Fun times. I don't know if I'll sit down with Athiops tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Big old question mark. I'm gonna let the day play out as it does. Yeah. Fuck, man. This is one of those reactions where I don't even remember half the I don't even remember hardly any of the shit I said. It feels like I just woke up from a blur, a dream. Everything that just happened for the last 2 hours was a dream, basically. All right, y'all. Take care. We'll see you soon.